I'm Ann Hart, and I have known Jackson and his family probably since he was 3 or 4 years old. Now he's, in high school and a very accomplished artist, and I've been able to follow his career over all those years, watching him get better and better. And he's very prolific in addition to being talented. The volume of his work is just mind-blowing. And the intricacies of his work, the level of detail in a lot of the pictures are just phenomenal. I think what I like most about Jackson's art, and I think this is why I nominated him, is because through his art, he busts a lot of myths about autism. For example, it's very easy to say people with autism are in their own little world. Well, if you look at Jackson's art, you will say, no, he is totally of the entire world, the entire universe, and he sees things in the world that most of us miss. He's not locked in his mind. He's taking every inch of life experience in and then putting it out on art. Likewise, people say about people with autism, oh, they don't really care much about people. Well, if you look at Jackson's art, he expresses a sensitivity to other people and other cultures and history that, again, most people his age have not developed. Very mature. I think he's, wise beyond his years when it comes to other people, not behind. If you meet Jackson, you will see he's, might not be great at social skills, but it's not for lack of desire or lack of interest in other people. And I think those things are, expressed in his art. Finally, it's been really neat to see, again, this is something that somebody Jackson's age doesn't typically do, even if they don't have a disability, is he has actually used his art to benefit other people. I think most teenagers are just coming into that kind of volunteerism, and it's pretty mature. He has a pretty mature sense of philanthropy already as a teenager, and I have total confidence that that will grow as he gets older, and he will really be a force for good for people with all kinds of disabilities, but particularly people with autism, because he relates to that, obviously.
Hi, I'm Renee Kraft, and I'm Jackson's mom. And we knew pretty early on that Jackson was going to be an artist. He started drawing with a pencil at the age of 18 months old, and he had excellent fine motor planning, which was somewhat surprising. Some of his other skills he was delayed on, but drawing, he could do that. And fortunately or unfortunately, he would draw all night long while we should have been sleeping. He would draw on our pillows while we tried to sleep. He would draw on the walls. He drew on the bed ruffles. He drew on the sheets. He has painted murals in our home, painted the front windows of our house with crayons. Any surface is game for art for Jackson. He didn't speak for many years, but when he did start speaking, he said, "I am art." He didn't say, "I am an artist." He said, "I am art." And I really feel like that encapsulates Jackson really well, because he's a poet, he's a philosopher, he is a visual artist, he also writes songs. He also feels that his art serves a purpose greater than himself, and he has always explored that. He says, peace through art and diversity. And Jackson very much believes in all diversity. I think that he has a great future in art, and it's my job as his parent to smooth the way for him, to create some on-ramps for people with disabilities, because currently there aren't any requirements of colleges to admit people with disabilities and to accommodate them. And I think that Jackson will be one of the first people that integrates, one of the U.S.'s or the world's top art schools.
My name is Gretchen Crook, and I'm a family friend and neighbor. And I've known Jackson since he was almost 1 year old. And Jackson's art really reflects who he is. It reflects the fact that he knows that he's different, and he celebrates the differences of everybody. He is all about inclusion and helping people understand each other. So one of the things that I think is so appealing about Jackson's art is that whether you're an adult or whether you're a child, you know what he is saying through his art. The colors pop, there's movement in his art, It's not always easy subjects that he has in his artwork. There's a lot of subject matter that you would think someone as young as him and without as much experience in the world would know about. But he understands that there is an injustice, and that's what he wants to work to solve. He has such a gift with languages that I have no doubt that he'll be able to use that gift as well as his artwork in order to bring people together.
Hi, I'm Lacey Elana. I'm the program director of Building Connections, a specialized improv theater program here in Austin. And I've been Jackson's improv teacher for the last several years. And I just wanted to record a short video telling you all about Jackson and why he's so deserving of this award. Jackson's an incredibly bright, talented, and thoughtful young man. He's wildly creative, very insightful, and a really wonderful advocate for neurodiversity and difference. He has a wonderful sense of humor. He's quick to crack jokes and make other people laugh. He's loyal to his friends and family. He's dedicated to social justice. And I really appreciate that he brings a lot of awareness to social problems and challenges through his work. Jackson's really perseverant, and he always follows his passions and dreams. One of the things that I really admire about Jackson is that he brings himself to his work wholeheartedly. And as Jackson has aged, he's become a really strong self-advocate for autism. And hearing Jackson talk about how he views the world and sharing that through other people with his art, I find really amazing. So yeah, I love hearing more about how, autism impacts who he is, and it's just magnificent for him to be able to share that with everyone, and he's breaking down these barriers for understanding and connection. So his work is really interesting, but also thought-provoking and brings a lot of depth, which I really think is wonderful. And I love that his work often covers difference and provides insight into how he sees the world, and it's really a vehicle for education and conversation, in addition to just having merit as art in and of itself. So beyond visual art and performance, Jackson writes music, he writes poems, he creates languages. All around, he's just a really phenomenal guy, and I'm really glad to have gotten to work with him these last few years, and I can't imagine anybody more deserving of this award. So congratulations, Jackson.